Next on SportsCenter, the answer to the much more than $64,000 question, which way, KJ? Someone may need to tell Dino which way to Philly. Colin Campbell feels right at home in the Big Apple, as does Barry by the Bay. A look at some of the greatest catches in baseball history. Who will be the top catches after Mr. Duncan in Wednesday's NBA draft? How could a shark help out a group of panthers? Our cover story examines the mind games heading into the Tyson-Holyfield Part 2.
That cloak of invincibility has been taken from him.
Hey, buddy, you'll want to make sure you can see this. SportsCenter, extremely appealing. Next.
And hello and welcome to SportsCenter with Bob Lee. I'm Steve Levy. Bob Stevens will chime in just a bit. Ahead on the show, Justice and O.J. actually in the same story. You'd think that would be the lead, but actually we begin with some true sunshine in Phoenix.
And really good news throughout the entire NBA. The season began in a funk with Kevin Johnson injured, the Phoenix Suns winless, but once KJ got healthy, once Danny Ainge took over as coach, once the Suns dealt for Jason Kidd, once the Suns began to gel as a team, and KJ's preseason retirement announcement seemed to lose some steam. And today, Kevin Johnson decided to return rather than walk away from a $7 million salary at the age of 31.
And instead of this being my 11th season, I'm kind of looking at this being my first as we go to this next, up this next plateau and hopefully strive to get up the mountain to the top. And whether I get to the top and see the promised land with the organization, I can live with it either way as long as I'm striving and a part of that.
Kevin Johnson, the most experienced of the Suns' unique four-guard offense. After 4 seasons with a series of injury problems, came back this past year with an edge and a purpose, taking the Suns to a deciding 5th game against the top-seeded Seattle Supersonics in the first round of the playoffs. He made 7 last year. He'll make between 8 and 8.4 on the 1-year extension. His 10th season after the injury problems, one of his best. His rankings here among NBA guards this past year, 30 games with double-digit assists, and he was in the top 5 among NBA guards in assists and threes and shooting percentage. Steve?
Tell me you weren't thinking along the same lines as Rick Pitino when he had to explain to Dino Radja that this isn't Club Med after the forward from Croatia asked to be traded to a warm climate that's also home to a playoff contender. Good for Boston. Sent him to Philadelphia. Exactly what he wanted. Radja had originally balked at taking a Sixers physical, but he did show up in Philly today. 76ers owner Pat Croce said this would be a serious physical since Radja has had knee and back problems. Dino was traded for Clarence Weatherspoon and Michael Cage on Friday. Radja's contract calls for a 15% increase on his reported $5.6 million salary if he is traded. Bob.
On to the baseball. The Giants have passed the point of being a surprise this year. After all, it is summer. They continue to lead the NL West. But the Gins have dropped 3 of their last 4. They gave up nearly 9 runs a game during that span. And today against the last-place Padres, the Giants throwing Sean Estes, who has not lost a game in a month and a half. He had 5 straight wins today and a brilliant day at Candlestick Point. Sean Estes against Steve Finley in the first. Drilling Finley, who had 3 dingers last night. Some words exchanged, but now we go to the second inning. 2 outs, the pitcher up, and Danny Jackson brushes back his opposite number. Then Jackson hits Estes and gets a warning from umpire Gary Darling. Next batter, Darryl Hamilton, making Jackson pay, lines the single. Damon Berryhill scores. 2-0 Giants. They would add another. 3-1 in the third. That's Barry Bonds doing it again. 6 dingers, 7 games, 17 on the season. It's a 4-1 Giants lead. Padres with their defense, Ken Caminiti charging and getting Darryl Hamilton, robbing him on the off-balance throw. But Estes has been in the zone. Yes, Archie Cianfrocco hits into that comebacker of a 1-6-3 DP as the Giants win 4-1. They've now won 7 of 10. Estes has won 6 consecutive decisions. Rod Beck's save, his 25th, leads the league. It gives him 187 on his career, and he moves past Jeff Russell into the 23rd spot all time. Jackson now has lost 5 in a row, including all 3 since being traded to the Padres from the Cardinals. While Eric Davis of the Orioles waits on the next course of treatment for his colon cancer, the Orioles are looking into trades to possibly fill that gap. Davis is going to be visiting Camden Yards this week for the first time since his surgery. Davis will hold a press conference at the Ball Yard on Thursday to discuss whether he will indeed undergo chemotherapy. Such treatment would almost certainly end the season for Eric Davis.
The Twins are in the midst of a big June series. Nearly had to play the remainder of it without one of their few big players. 2 more wins in Cleveland tonight and tomorrow night, and Minnesota's mini deficit in the AL Central would be reduced to just 2.5 games. Twins hammered the Tribe last night 7-2 in the series opener, but even when they win, they lose.
Sounded like
All-star second baseman Chuck Knobloch hit on the left elbow by an Albie Lopez fastball while leading off the seventh. Chuck left the game. What was called a bruise. Manager Tom Kelly said x-rays were not necessary. Apparently he was right. Chuck is back in the starting lineup tonight. The Indians not as lucky. Here's your O.J. Justice reference. Chad O.J., last night's loser, lost again today, put on the 15-day DL, strained right elbow. And on the same day his divorce from Halle Berry was finalized, David Justice also put on the disabled list. His problem, a hyperextended left elbow. Day by day, bit by bit, there's more good news concerning Red Wings defenseman Vladimir Konstantinov. A neurosurgeon at Beaumont Hospital said today he continues to make purposeful movements, among them opening his eyes and squeezing hands on command. And the process of weaning him from a ventilator is now underway. Team masseur Sergei Minatsikhanov also is making those purposeful movements. The two do remain in critical but stable condition. In a related manner, a package of proposed bills that would stiffen penalties against people who drive without a license was announced. That was the case with the driver of the limousine that was involved in this single-car collision. Never the marquee name with the Broadway looks, New York Rangers head coach Colin Campbell is looking just fine lately. His club overachieved to make it to the conference finals. Last week, he was interviewed for the head coaching position for Canada's Olympic team, and now Newsday is reporting that Soupy has agreed to a 2-year contract extension worth nearly $1.5 million. The Rangers said you can expect an announcement shortly. Bob.
No rain in London today, just tennis. Plenty of it at Wimbledon, where the players, of course, traditionally wear all white, which Marcelo Charpentier of Argentina did today. All white attire and purple hair with a dangling earring. Sergei Fedorov of those champion Red Wings was on hand to watch his friend Anna Kournikova. And the top seed Pete Sampras was in action against unseeded Michael Tillstrom. Air Sampras, yes, as Sampras wins in straight sets 4-4 and 2. Match of the day, Todd Woodbridge leading 5-1 in the fifth set against Michael Chang. Woodbridge serving at 5-1 in the fifth.
Trying to come from down 2 service
with a fault and then a double fault. Would he blow 2 service breaks? Chang seemingly gaining momentum here. He will now return the serve. Michael Chang fights back to 5-all in the fifth set. He's serving at 5-all. Well, he slipped. Chang is down, but he's not out. Chang is still serving, and he'll again approach the net and put away the winner, take a 6-5 lead. Woodbridge holds serve. Tied at 6-all. Chang serving.
Got another chance.
Quiet, Jim. Wide, so Woodbridge up 7-6. Woodbridge serving at double match point and attacking. Match of the day, tremendous, especially in the last half hour. 7-6, 3-6-6, 2-3-6-8-6. Your mileage may vary. Pete Sampras with that easy victory. Kafelnikov, who lost in the first round last year, breezing past Juan Antonio Marin. And Chang, you saw that highlight. Boris Becker with a victory. French Open champion Gustavo Kuerten losing the completion of yesterday's match to Justin Schimmelstaub. And Jonas Bjorkman inheriting the 17th seed when Mooster withdrew, losing to Chris Wilkinson of the UK. Among the ladies, Martina Hingis a tough time against Anka Kramer, ranked 218th in the world. Monica Seles advancing, as do the rest of the top 10 seeds among the ladies in action today. Kimberly Poe, though, was upset by Carrie-Anne Guz of Australia. Ruxandra Dragomir was upset as well. Several weeks after being called on the carpet by a U.S. Senate committee with dark talk of laws being passed, the College Football Bowl Alliance has now included 2 more conferences that were upset at being left out of the national championship picture. This all begins with the 1998 season. The Western Athletic Conference, the WAC, and Conference USA will both be included in the Alliance Bowl bids if their teams finish 6th or higher in the college football polls. Our cover story this evening stares right into the eyes of both champion Evander Holyfield and challenger Mike Tyson, considering the mental games at work for Saturday's rematch in Las Vegas. For Tyson, the atmospherics are now very, very different.
That cloak of invincibility has been taken from him, like Muhammad did to Sonny Liston. Same thing. This guy is not the bully of the block. Once you take the bully out of a guy, you're the boss.
Mind games inside the squared circle and the echo of Holyfield's victory. That is tonight's cover story. Also, Jim Edmonds at it again, a classic already this year, and this one last night. We will define the defense, and we'll also tonight have our night lights, where you spell code with a K over and over again, and you are watching SportsCenter.
You're a judge at America's most prestigious beer competition. You can't see anything. Can't see the labels. All you've got to go on is taste. So who wins the gold medal for best tasting American premium lager? Original Coors. Close your eyes and taste the one that won for taste. Original Coors.
When the unexpected happens, the all-new Dodge Dakota swings into action. Standard dual airbags help guard you from the front. High-strength steel door beams help shield you from the side, while the new front seats are designed to help protect you from the rear. When it came to building a safer truck, we considered all the angles. The new Dodge Dakota. It's full of surprises.
My son Ed's such a sweetheart. Always calls me just to say hi. So I asked him to use 1-800-COLLECT. It saves up to 44%. So we can talk more often. Besides, if he calls any other way, I'd break his little nose.
Dial 1-800-COLLECT. They love to hear from you. We're making every Holiday Inn hotel as good as the best Holiday Inn hotel. But a traveler in a hurry may not notice the new lobby or the new furniture. You may not notice new carpeting or even have time to admire the new exterior. You may not notice lots of things that we're improving. But if you're really rushed, you will appreciate the fast, easy-to-use electronic locks. Holiday Inn, on the way.
Night Lights is brought to you by Holiday Inn Hotels. We're spending $1 billion to make every Holiday Inn as good as the best Holiday Inn.
Got him with a high blazer. That's in for a strike. Got him. Got him inside corner fastball. Very reluctant to throw strikes. Got him. Got him.
Swing and a miss. Strike three. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike three. Splitter swung on and missed. Strike three. Goes down once again.
Got him. Got him. The hesitation. He got it. A major league high 16 strikeouts. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Swing and a miss. 3-2 pitch.
Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Career high 13 strikeouts for Kurt Schilling.
He may have another one, and it is gone. Third home run of the night for Steve Finley.
Of 1996, it's a 22-game hitting streak. Home runs ever hit. This one is hit pretty well too. 3 for 3 tonight for Jim Thome, a pair of home runs.
From the good stuff to the hurts, Geronimo Baroja leaving last night's loss to the M's in the second inning. He strained his right shoulder with a throw an inning earlier. San Diego reliever Heath Murray on the DL, left shoulder problem. 7 appearances this year, a 1-1 record, a 6.9 ERA. Mariners releasing Griffey last night. Craig Griffey, at his request, his 7th year as a minor league outfielder. At the age of 27, he was hitting .217 in Double-A. Alan Watson shut out the Rangers over 6 innings, but warming up for the 7th, he felt a pop in his shoulder. This is the final out of the 6th, though he left the game the next inning. 3 relievers combined to finish the 1-0 game. Angels trainer saying that Watson merely with tightness in the shoulder, he will not be missing a start.
Dodgers righty Ramon Martinez will miss more than one start. He was placed on the 15-day disabled list, retroactive to the 15th. It's a small tear in his right rotator cuff. He'll be gone for at least the next 2.5 weeks. Dr. Jobe said he believed there's a good chance it'll heal without surgery. And the Reds have put Terry Pendleton on the 15-day DL with a hairline fracture of his big toe. Still to come here on SportsCenter. What's a Houston NFL fan to do now that he or she can no longer root for a Love You Blue? We'll tell you about Mike Ditka's different kind of recruiting trip. And we'll put in focus, flashing some leather.
It's kind of like Louis Armstrong. It's kind of like...
Bell Atlantic makes a simple point.
Okay, the lobster. Me. That's $22.50. The burger.
Here.
$22.50. Small salad.
Me.
$22.50 for you.
Simple. But one price doesn't fit all. So unlike other phone companies, Bell Atlantic offers a choice of local and regional toll calling plans, and soon long distance. Plans for people who call a lot and a little.
Your coffee, madam.
That's gonna hurt.
That's $22.50.
Queen of England here. One doesn't mean to interrupt your afternoon of sport, but you know, if a bit of revelry mixed with a healthy dose of jubilation is your cup of tea, then you really should try our Major League Soccer on telly. Terribly exciting lads, yes they are. You simply don't find fancier footwork than that provided by Kobe Jones. Oh, marvelous, simply marvelous. So, do give it a look. Barkeep, a pint for everyone on the monarchy.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Holiday Inn Hotels. We're spending $1 billion to make every Holiday Inn as good as the best Holiday Inn.
It's defense, 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 defense.
And it's blasted to right field. Back goes Sammy. And Sammy's got it.
JT Snow will do the best he can near the stands. And he caught it. Did he hang on? Yes.
Defense
is the ability to know where you have to go and how long it's going to take you to get there right now.
A looping liner, and Ramirez makes a diving catch
right now.
He hits that one high, deep center field. A long run for Buford. He leaps. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did.
Put high and deep in the left field. Albert going back. Back. He makes the catch.
Uh-oh. That ball is smoked. Jim Edmonds on his horse dives. He makes another sensational catch.
Defense, defense, defense.
Right now.
All of those catches last night, all of them certainly keepers for plays of the week. You talk about plays for the ages when you're talking about defense. Could be another matter. Here's Bob Stevens. Take a look.
But we all have our favorite catches from our favorite players. The great catch certainly in the eye of the beholder. Your favorite team, your favorite outfielders probably made one. Even Albert Bell. That's one of the beauties of making the beautiful catch. You don't have to have a gold glove on your mantle to make one. Just last Friday, sandwiched between Edmonds' catches, Rusty Greer made one that might be lost because the Rangers lost. When Lefty Gomez went into the Hall of Fame, he thanked my teammates for all the runs they scored and Joe DiMaggio, who ran down all my mistakes. Where glove, ball, and opportunity come together is our Jack Edwards.
Baseball is about situations. Edmonds' effort was a 4-glover on a scale of 5 because it was a regular season extension of the genre created by Willie Mays. Remember, Mays made his catch off Vic Wertz to smite the Tribe in Game 1 of the 1954 World Series, igniting a giant sweep. 4.5 mitts for Mays. Ron Swoboda, 1969 World Series. Mets up 2-1, top of the 9th. 1-zip game, 2 men on.
And when I left the ground, I had no idea that it would hit my glove. It hit and stuck.
It was the difference between playing at Shea for the series championship the next day and the prospect of having to go back to Baltimore for at least Game 6. 4.5 gloves. Same series, same outfield. Tommy Agee, number 1. 2 on, 2 out, 2 runs saved on the backhand side. 4 gloves. Same game, Tommy Agee, number 2. Bases loaded with 2 out, 16 steps to the scoop. 4 gloves, an 8-glove effort in a single series game. Oh, Kirby me, you say? Very well. 1991 World Series in a game that Puckett would win with a homer in extra innings. He robs Ron Gant, saves a run, and the Twins go on to take the series in 7. But it's not a one-of-a-kind catch, so it only gets 3.5 gloves. Whatever. Do your own rating system. Al Gianfrido had his moment in the 47 series against Joe DiMaggio.
Back to Gianfrido. Back. He makes a one-handed catch against the bullpen. Oh, doctor.
And Sandy Amoros helped the Dodgers beat the Yanks in 55. But while the situations were big, the catches were on the mild side of spectacular. 3.5 gloves. Does courage figure into it? Rondell White had to choose between the ball and his body. He got the ball and hurt his spleen. Sorry, mandatory deduction. Special categories. Best impersonation of Michael Jackson, wearing one glove for no apparent reason. Kevin Mitchell. Best unsuccessful attempt to wreck an outfield fence. Fred Lynn absorbing the body check from teammate Brian Downing in 1982. Best successful attempt to wreck an outfield fence. Rodney McRae in the Pacific Coast League, but he didn't catch the ball. Best suicide attempt over an outfield fence. Brad Kaminsky in 1989 on Cal Ripken Jr.
Back goes Kaminsky to the warning track. Leaps and he has it. He falls over the fence. It's a home run.
Back to the gradables. Ken Griffey Jr. is the quintessential impact player. Here's his 1995. I fought the wall and the wall won. Broken wrist, 4 gloves. 'Tis better to climb the fence than to collide with it. Kenny Lofton.
Back to the warning track. He leaps. Oh, my! What an incredible play by Lofton. He's Superman.
Brett Butler.
Back goes the center fielder, Butler. Over the wall, a 3-run home run by... No, he caught it. I don't believe it.
4 gloves. These all are good, but they lack the originality of Griffey. Griffey Sr., that is.
Fly ball down the left field line. Griffey going over, leaps, and he's got it. And he's got it.
4.5 gloves because it showed future fence climbers the way. Is there a confluence of situation and sensation that produces the ultimate, inarguable, greatest catch of all time? It sounds like Eastern philosophy, perhaps inspired by this from the Japanese League. Events can be compared, time cannot. It calls to mind the pilot's proverb, any landing you walk away from was good enough.
Jack, what's it take for a 5-glover? Because of the situation, because it was in New York, and maybe most importantly because it's been captured on film for the ages, Mays' catch in the 54 series is the standard by which all others are measured. Last Sunday night in San Francisco, Mays visited with John Miller and Joe Morgan during the Dodger-Giant game about his favorite current fly chaser.
Every time there's a great catch made somewhere by anybody, they start talking about how it rates compared to your catch in the 54 World Series.
I saw Javon White, which was Toronto, at one time do it twice in one game, catch the ball over his shoulder that way, which I feel right now he's probably one of the best center fielders around.
Now, White certainly has the hardware to prove it with a half-dozen gold gloves, just 1 fewer than Griffey. With only Junior and newcomer Grissom from this list currently in the American League, Jim Edmonds may be making the golden impression on the other big league managers. Still to come, inside the Packers huddle, the ripple effect of Dorsey Levin's new deal on the delicate balance of the Green Bay offense. And exceptional stuff from the excellent extravaganza that can only be described by one letter. Pictures you'll see nowhere else coming up.
In Focus is brought to you by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
If it helps make your life a little more special, a little more comfortable, a little more fun, chances are we're part of it. America's electric utility companies.
Choose one.
answers when you need it. I am not done.
You're looking at the one number that has simplified your life for long-distance calls away from home. You knew that, right? Okay, now we're going to show you something really new. Introducing the one number for local calls away from home. Ready? Wow, pretty amazing, huh? Want to see it again? Okay, long distance, local. Long, local. Across the country, across the street. Here, there, and everywhere in between. The one number to know for all calls away from home. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT and simplify your life.
X Games Report is brought to you by AT&T. It's all within your reach.
There's so much poise in the coping. There with the backflip. Look for something different. Whoa, 720! Forward on forward.
Looks like fun. Still to come, you're on SportsCenter. Is there a new sod god, and does he go by the nickname of the Shark? Details on a new deal between Greg Norman and the Carolina Panthers. And we'll go to Charlotte for the latest on the NBA draft.
Nobody owns us, man. When I say us, I mean ball player. Ball player. Nobody owns us. You understand? And nobody can own basketball. There's no one person can own this game. You can take away the NBA, so what? Take it away. You can take away the endorsement, so what? You can take away the logos on the shoes, or what? Take them off. But when you take all that away, that Zoe, that Indiana boy, and the street baller, he gonna still be butter.
The magic of Hercules is coming to McDonald's. Here he is on the big screen.
And here he is on the big plate.
Now you can get one of 6 Hercules plates for just $1.99 at your McDonald's when you buy any large sandwich or a Happy Meal.
And you can get all of Herc's friends from Disney's new movie in theaters now.
Like Zeus?
Phil and Megara.
My friends call me Meg. You can eat off them or put them on your wall.
Just don't do both at the same time.
2 thumbs way, way up.
The seniors roll into the Windy City as defending champ Dave Stockton takes on all-comers at Olympia Fields, the U.S. Senior Open. Coverage begins Thursday at 1 and 5 on ESPN.
When Laston pitches high inside.
Hey, man, where's our regular bat boy?
Oh, he's sick, man.
Get closer to Martinez.
What's hard for you guys to hit? Come on, now.
Stay on target.
Tell me. You can tell the bat boy. Come on, tell the bat boy.
A little more than 24 hours from the draft, we're still awaiting any last-minute deals. Rest assured the phone lines are busy. The New York Star-Ledger reporting that the Knicks are shopping inconsistent point guard Chris Childs and the last 5 years of his 6-year, $23.5 million contract. One report speculating Denver, who has the 5th pick, and an unhappy Antonio McDyess.
Everything's available after number 1. Everything has been available for months because this draft is regarded as such a weak one. That's a quote from one unnamed Eastern Conference GM. Portland made the 20th pick overall available, and Minnesota grabbed it, completing the Isaiah Rider trade. Off their first playoff appearance, the Timberwolves had been without a first-round pick. More now on tomorrow's NBA draft from David Aldridge.
The 76ers hold the key to this year's draft, and everybody outside of Tim Duncan would sure like to know what they're doing. Philadelphia has several scenarios from which to choose. Does it hold on to the pick and take Chauncey Billups, Keith Van Horn, Tony Battie, or does it deal it to one of several hungry suitors? Right now, the Sixers are keeping everyone guessing.
The way this business is, anything can happen, and you know, I'm just starting to get a little anxious. I just kind of want to have somewhat of an idea where I'm going to be at.
If I had to guess right now, I would probably say Boston.
That's cool with you?
Oh yeah, that's fine with me. I mean, any team is fine with me.
With Dino Roger reporting to the Sixers on Tuesday for his physical, Philadelphia has a little less of a need for a big man. But the Sixers are hinting they could still take Van Horn, even though he declined to work out for them and said last week he'd rather play elsewhere.
They have Jarek Stackhouse and Derek Coleman as the 3 and 4 spots. I mean, that's my position. I mean, it's you know, I just think that the situation as a whole wouldn't be all that great for me.
Otherwise, Philadelphia would likely opt for Billups, who then play next to Allen Iverson.
He takes a lot of pressure off of everybody else on his team, and he'll be the focal point, and you know that leaves me with, you know, one-on-one coverage probably.
Vancouver is likely to stay in the 4th slot. The Grizzlies would then have their choice of Battie, whose workouts in Philly are getting better and better, or Bowling Green point guard Antonio Daniels, considered the best pure point guard available.
I like to create for others, to make others around me better. You're the best point guard, Mr. A? Yes.
The rest of the top half of the first round is equally unstable. Golden State and Milwaukee, 2 teams currently looking for general managers, are looking to move up in the draft. So is Cleveland. Adding to the uncertainty are teenagers like Tracy McGrady, who could go as high as 7 to the Nets, and Villanova forward Tim Thomas, who could go anywhere from 6 to 9. In Charlotte, I'm David Aldridge, ESPN.
David, a big part of our NBA draft coverage on ESPN Radio tomorrow night at 7:25. It's p.m. and it's also Eastern. He'll be joined by Reese Davis, Kevin Lockery, and Quinn Buckner. Analysis, reaction, and perspective can be heard tomorrow night on smart radio stations all over this great country of ours.
And on the eve of the NBA draft, it is basketball at the top of our news this Tuesday evening on SportsCenter. In Phoenix, as had been expected, Kevin Johnson had a change of heart. He will not retire. He'll play an 11th season in the NBA. He'll make about $8.4 million next year for the Suns. After early injuries this year, he recovered to lead the team in scoring and assists. Other basketball news, Dino Roger at the last hour did show up for his Philadelphia physical, averting problems with that trade from Boston in exchange for Clarence Weatherspoon and Michael Cage. There's also baseball news. Eric Davis will address the question of further treatment for his colon cancer on Thursday. He'll have a Camden Yards press conference if he begins chemotherapy. Eric Davis will likely miss the rest of the season. And there's tennis. Wimbledon, no rain, not too many upsets. Pete Sampras breezing today. Michael Chang knocked out in an epic match. Boris Becker moves on. French Open champion Gustavo Kuerten, thank you for playing our game. We have a nice parting gift. Michael Stieck in a battle of unseededs defeats Jim Courier. Among the women, Martina Hingis top seed. Problems against 218th ranked Anne Kramer of Luxembourg, who attends Stanford. Ooh. Hingis would recover and win the first set 6-4, serving at match point in the second set at 5-3, but Kramer sneaks in a great backhand and wins the game to make it 5-4. Hingis up 5-4 now in the near court.
Yes.
What a game. A tough opener for the top seed. It took 93 minutes for Martina Hingis to advance 6-4 and 6-4 among the top 10 women's seeds of those who played today. Each one was a victor. Also today, Kimberly Poe and Ruxandra Dragomir upset Brenda Schultz-McCarthy, rallying to beat Sylvia Farini. How are workers for U.S. athletic shoe companies treated in the developing world? It is a major issue. Human rights groups have charged that such workers are underpaid and poorly treated. Nike has been criticized for its working conditions. The company hired Andrew Young, the former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, to investigate its overseas factories. After a 15-day tour and a 4-month study, Young today released his report saying that Nike's overseas workers are not the victims of systematic or widespread abuse.
I was a victim of a lot of preconceived and, you know, kind of panic analysis of what's going on in the world. Not that those things are not going on in the world, but you'd hear about all of the problems going on in the world, and the only name you'd remember was Nike. And so I just automatically assumed that everything bad going on in the world was part of Nike. I was pleasantly surprised.
Once again, Nike did fund Young's study. The company said it would move beyond Young's recommendations by fining overseas vendors not adhering to a company code of conduct. Nike today also, for the first time ever, recalled a product. After several months of controversy, the company recalled a line of new shoes whose stylized logo appeared to some to resemble the name of Allah in Arabic script. The shoe was marketed under 4 separate names. As part of an agreement with the Council on American Islamic Relations, Nike will donate $50,000 to an Islamic school and apologize to Muslims the world over. As we continue, the question of how Bruce Smith will come to terms with the Buffalo Bills, because he and the team have 2 entirely different numbers in mind. That's coming up next.
Mind if we play through?
Why don't you join us?
Okay.
Pick it up. Pick it up?
It's gimme. Think that's generous? Then check out the Michelob Golfers 18-pack for a coupon for a free sleeve of Top Flight XL Performance 90 golf balls. You're the man. No, you're the man, man. Da, da, da.
The German-engineered Volkswagen Golf. It fits your life, or your complete lack thereof. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
New Castrol Super Clean All-Wheel Cleaner is uniquely formulated to instantly release brake dust and road grime, so your wheels will look new, even if your car isn't. Castrol Super Clean All-Wheel Cleaner outperforms all leading wheel cleaners.
For 35 years, I did the sports in 4 minutes. Now you got this channel with breaking news, highlights, scores. You know, I was doing sports bloopers back then. Well, we used to call them goofy gaffes. Same garbage.
Last night, WNBA action, LA Sparks, Utah Stars. LA running here in Salt Lake in the first half. That's Lisa Leslie for the 3. 17 in the first half. Sparks built a 17-point lead. Utah coming back. Dina ahead with a 3. A 13-point run. The Stars up by 1 at the half. Penny Toller, look at this move. The scoop shot, the Sparks down by 1, but Utah able to hold on down the stretch. Once again, it is Head icing it with a 3, and the Stars win it 102-89. LA opening 0-2 on the year. ESPN's coverage of the WNBA continuing Saturday afternoon back in Utah. The Houston Comets, the Utah Stars. Cynthia Cooper with 25 last night for the Comets. Wendy Palmer 28 for Utah, and that come from behind victory. Our coverage Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Today's baseball, first and last in the NL West. Sean Estes of the Giants. Here in the first, drilling Steve Finley, who had 3 dingers last night. Well, there's a payback, and he comes bottom of the second. 2 out. Pitcher Danny Jackson brushing back Sean Estes, and then getting a warning from umpire Gary Darling when he hit him with the next pitch. Darrell Hamilton makes him pay, lining the single to bring in Barry Hill. And the Giants take a 2-0 lead. That is Barry Bonds. That's what he does best. It's what he's done 6 times in 7 games. Number 17 on the year, and the Giants up 4-1. The Padres staying close with their defense. The MVP defense, Caminiti, look at that, to rob Darrell Hamilton on the bunt attempt. But Estes, who has been untouchable through May and now June, gets the DP as the Giants win 4-1. Estes his 10th victory of the season. Bonds, as we said, 5 dingers in 6 games. Sean Estes 6 consecutive victories. Danny Jackson has lost 5 in a row, 3 now as a Padre. Tony Gwynn stays at $395 because he took the afternoon off. Here's a shock. Agent Scott Boras is at war with a Major League Baseball team over a high draft pick. The team is the Phillies. The draftee is Florida State outfielder J.D. Drew, the 2nd player drafted last month. Boras claims the Phillies have not made the required offer within 15 days of the draft, and that Drew should be a free agent and, oh, by the way, the subject of a bidding war. The Phillies say that they have offered Drew a deal, a $2 million bonus. 4 players used the same argument successfully last year to become free agents, and those 4 players ended up with signing bonuses that totaled $28 million. Steve?
The pace has picked up in Seattle. Members of the Metropolitan King County Council have voted to approve a new stadium for the Seahawks, and as a result of what will amount to a $425 million deal, Microsoft founder Paul Allen could take over control of the franchise from Ken Behring as early as next week. For more of the ins and outs in the NFL, we go now inside the huddle with Chris Mortensen.
If any contract situation bears watching, it is in Buffalo, where Bruce Smith has been cooled to a 5-year, $21 million offer because he wants about half of it in a signing bonus. The benchmark being the $10.5 million that Derek Thomas recently got up front from the Kansas City Chiefs. Whether Bills owner Ralph Wilson Jr., who has genuine revenue problems, can come up with the cash remains to be seen. Wilson said recently he will no longer tap into his private businesses for football money. Smith says he'll report to training camp on July 10th, but early indications are that the 1996 Defensive Player of the Year won't participate in workouts until he gets a satisfactory deal. Edgar Bennett's playing time with the Green Bay Packers might be cut back because the team has big plans for Dorsey Levens, who recently signed a 1-year contract with hopes for an extension. As the 96 season wore on, Levens outperformed Bennett out of the backfield, scoring 10 touchdowns, 5 rushing, 5 receiving, and had a 4.7 average per carry, the NFL's best behind Barry Sanders. During the Packers' Super Bowl run, the former Georgia Tech standout led the team in postseason rushing, and Mike Holmgren hopes Levens' pass-catching skills will help offset the loss of tight end Keith Jackson. Not that it will look like the lush greens of the world's finest courses, but pro golfer Greg Norman's Turf Company has installed a new Australian Bermuda grass field at Ericsson Stadium, home of the Carolina Panthers. Turf management is about the only problem the expansion franchise has not solved yet, but Norman's turf promises to withstand the elements better, not to mention a few man-sized divots. Jerry Jones already has the NFL's highest-paid quarterback in Troy Aikman, the highest-paid running back in Emmitt Smith, and the highest-paid defensive player in Deion Sanders. He also may wind up with the highest-paid offensive lineman because Larry Allen, a guard who is arguably the NFL's finest blocker, is a year away from free agency and is the last big piece to Jones's puzzle to remain a contender for the rest of the decade. Mike Ditka's return to the NFL has paid off for the Saints with a 10,000 swing in season ticket sales and selling at a rate of 200 per day. And he could pay off across the state line where the Saints hope to compete with the Cowboys for Houston fans, now with the Oilers on their way to Tennessee. Ditka has been invited to speak next month to the Houston Touchdown Club and will be accompanied by a 16-member force of the New Orleans Tourism and Convention Bureau that will promote discount travel packages for a weekend in the Big Easy and a few hours of hard-nosed Mike Ditka football. Inside the Huddle, I'm Chris Mortensen, ESPN.
All right, more thanks. Still to come on SportsCenter. More on the extra sunshine they had today in Phoenix as KJ Okays one more season in the desert. But up next, tonight's cover story. Can and will brains beat brawn when it comes to Saturday night's fight? We'll think you through.
It's hard to find words to describe what it feels like when you truly connect in life. Well, come to think of it, we can think of a couple. At Comcast, we've got everything from stuff that really touches you to things that help you get in touch from anywhere, faster than ever before. In fact, Comcast even connects in ways you might not expect from a cable company. Because if you're going to connect with us, the least we can do is connect with you. Comcast, everything you connect with.
Had everything. He was renting an apartment, and he was always a big Pistol Pete fan, you know.
Look at you. You look like a floozy. You know that? What do you think this is sexy?
I used to use lines like, hey, come here often. Now I speak from the heart with a beautiful crossover dribble.
Do you know what it's like to have to tell people, my brother's a groupie? I always counted on him getting a good corporate job and hiring me. I'm screwed.
Houston, Utah, Saturday at 5.
Biker Sherlock bring the precision he mustered in the preliminaries into the Dual Luge Finals.
Having a great time. Thank you, X Games.
Then it takes two to tango in the Sky Surf Finals. Talented teammates Troy Hartman and Vic Papadotto set their hopes high. The skateboard street competition begins with a wicked display of stunt work on wheels. That's all tonight at the X Games at 8 p.m. and 12:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 p.m. Pacific on ESPN.
Olympic gold medal skater Scott Hamilton underwent surgery today for testicular cancer in Cleveland. The 4-hour surgery considered successful. The 38-year-old was diagnosed with the cancer back in March while performing in the Stars on Ice tour. The 84 champ has kept his sense of humor, saying, "Now, if I can come out of this with a full head of hair and a foot taller, I'll really be grateful." He is expected to resume skating by September. Bob.
Did the bully on the block ever really hit you? All he had to do was plant the seed of intimidation, and he never had to throw a punch. The results are different, of course, in the ring, but the game's the same. And the one thing they don't put on the tail of the tape is what's going on between the boxer's ears. Our cover story, Charlie Steiner inside the heads of Tyson and Holyfield before Saturday's rematch.
Throughout his career, Mike Tyson's MO before the inevitable KO was instilling fear and intimidation into his opponent. But it didn't work against Evander Holyfield, who simply refused to be bullied.
Holyfield comes back with a left hook. Holyfield with a combination to Tyson's head.
He's not afraid. He knows he's going to get hit, so go on and do his job, and if he gets hit, but he got to hit the guy back.
I thought maybe the turning point of the fight happened at the very end of the first round. Bell rang, he hit your leg, and you hit him right back.
He will always, at the end of the bell, get a couple of shots in, and I know the most important thing is to get the last shot, because who get the last shot, the other guy got to go back thinking about what happened. And not only him, if he hit me after the bell, to hit him last, where he can go back and say, this guy hit back.
The Mike Tyson types of the world don't know what to do when, after they hit the other guy, the next thing that happens is the other guy hits him back.
I just want to shake your hand, man. It's been so long. I just want to touch you. Right on that one.
Losing his title and that air of invincibility has humbled Tyson and softened his bravado since the first fight.
He's not in there with no punk. He think he's in there with some bully, some punk. I'm going to show him what a bully does. And then after the fight, we're going to show him what a bully is. But he's a hell of a fighter. I just have a great deal of respect for him as a fighter. I'm just glad to have this opportunity.
That cloak of invincibility has been taken from him, like Muhammad did to Sonny Liston. Same thing. This guy is not the bully of the block. Once you take the bully out of a guy, you're the boss.
He realized that I have lost against this guy. This guy is good. I never had any idea he could fight as well as he did. Now he is in a different position, and I can tell in his eyes that the position that he's in, that it would take him, it would take a little bit more to get his confidence back to the level of being able to go out there and give his best.
Mike, I think, is still in that stage where he's still finding out who Mike is. And you're never going to beat a sound guy who's good with a guy who's unstable and good. But I wouldn't say he beat Mike every time because Mike has so much punching power and it only takes one shot.
Tyson, the challenger, remains the favorite for Saturday night's championship showdown. Richie Giacchetti has returned to Tyson's corner, and with him the expectation of a much more disciplined Mike Tyson.
I know I'm in for a tough fight. I know what I have to do to prepare. My theory is to destroy or be destroyed. I love that theory, and I love that way of life. I'm looking forward to knocking him out.
Thanks, Charlie. You want to see if there's any last-minute posturing between the pair? Then tune into ESPN News tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern for the final news conference before the fight. Verbal sparring from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas tomorrow afternoon, live at 2 in the East, 11 a.m. on the West Coast on ESPN News. Then we will strip the fight down to its, well, you know, Thursday. The weigh-in live from Las Vegas at about 7:10 during SportsCenter. John Saraceno and former heavyweight champion of the world, James Buster Douglas, will join Charlie Steiner for more pre-fight analysis just after 7 Thursday on ESPN.
He is quite possibly the most electric soccer player in the world, and the soap opera over his proposed transfer from Barcelona to Inter Milan took a new twist today. Ronaldo was told by FIFA, soccer's all-powerful governing body, he cannot buy his way out of his Spanish league contract to move to the Italian team. The Brazilian youngster had spent $27 million last week to make that move, but FIFA now says that buying your way out of a contract is only legal within a country in Europe. And under the heading of They Deserve Each Other, soccer's tormented and aged genius Diego Maradona has now hired Canadian sprinter Ben Johnson as his personal trainer. Maradona, with a long history of drug abuse, including being tossed out of World Cup '94 here in the States, trying yet another comeback. And Johnson lost the 1988 100-meter Olympic gold medal for taking performance-enhancing drugs. Speaking of deserving each other, the Suns and KJ, why did he change his mind, and what is that going to mean to the Suns? We'll take a long look at the return of an NBA great. We continue.
Inside its armrest are storage compartments. The map pockets are thoughtfully divided. Its roomy rear seats have under-seat bins. And the bed converts into a shelf. In the all-new Dakota, even the conveniences have conveniences. The new Dodge Dakota. It's full of surprises.
Who am I? I am an emissary from the Rocky Mountains. I am an ambassador of beer to the nation of Thirstyland. I am a messenger representing cold beer refreshment for sections 220 through 229, equipped with a full tray of frost-brewed Coors Light. I am the only man here who can fully satisfy your needs. I am the beer man. But enough about me, let's talk about you.
Tomorrow, Marquise Grissom. New league, same result. He's tearing it up. The Tribe hosts Molly and the Twins at 7:30. Then at 10:30, Larry Walker, swinging the hottest lumber in the league. He'll lead the Blake Street Bombers into L.A. to tussle with the Dodgers. Twins Indians at 7:30. Rockies Dodgers at 10:30. The Wednesday doubleheader. Tomorrow on ESPN.
Chris Myers a tad overworked. His questions per show are way up. He needs a break, so we have booked him the human quote machine. Charles Barkley for tomorrow's Up Close on the eve of the draft, the league's verbose veteran, at 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN. New Jersey Nets changing the packaging of their product, their 7th logo in their 21 NBA years, so the lineal descendants of Laverne Tart, Manny Leaks, and Sonny Dove will wear this logo as they strive to do something except attend the NBA lottery each spring. The power brokers in this draft, the 76ers, are changing their look. New unis, new logos, and the Sixers, of course, hope that equals new merchandise sales. And if teams are not redesigning their logos, they are scrambling, politicking, and pandering for new arenas. In the case of the Indiana Pacers, they are now set for funding a new arena to replace the 23-year-old Market Square Arena. Some of that money is going to come from a special taxing district created now in downtown Indianapolis. The city council approving that innovation last night. Groundbreaking may occur next month for a building to be called the Indiana Fieldhouse, until that name is sold to raise even more money.
If Kevin Johnson had retired, the Suns would have been able to use the $7 million reportedly slotted for him to help sign other free agents, including their own, like Rex Chapman, John Hot Rod Williams, and Mark Bryant. But Phoenix isn't complaining. Far from it, in fact. They realize how hard it would be to play an effective four-guard offense without your best two-guard.
This was it. I gave it my all. I'm proud of what this team was able to accomplish this year, especially with the type of year that we had.
Our last meeting was last week. We plan to meet again on, I believe, June 23rd. And at that point in time, I really think that I'll be able to decide whether I'll play or not.
I really think that in the next 72 hours, I'll be able to decide, because I mean everybody wants to, the organization and myself, we want to be able to put this behind ourselves and move forward.
The decision to retire had obviously been a difficult one for Kevin Johnson. For 2 years, the 10-year pro maintained that the 96-97 season would be his last. But a new rising of the Suns and a convincing word or two, and likely $1 or two, changed his mind. This past season began for Johnson just like it had in some previous seasons, on the injured list. He missed the first 11 games because of abdominal hernia surgery. When he returned to the Phoenix lineup, they were winless and had already made a coaching change. KJ proved his worth as the Suns won 7 of their next 11 games. But still, the playoffs seemed an impossibility until they received a Christmas present. It was a day late, but that didn't stop Phoenix from welcoming Jason Kidd with open arms. The Kid came from Dallas in a blockbuster trade on December 26th. And Johnson had a new position, one of shooting guard.
Certainly I understood that when you get a player with the caliber of skills of Jason Kidd, that certainly he's the cornerstone of this franchise for the next 10 years. And that's great for an organization. That's something I encourage, and I'm very proud to be able to pass the torch on to him.
Johnson and Kidd meshed well in the backcourt. No longer needed to drive inside. Johnson stayed healthy, leading the team with 20 points per game and more than 9 assists. After the All-Star break, the Suns and KJ went on a tear. They won 20 of their last 26 games, including 11 straight. Johnson had led the team in scoring in 13 of those 26. The playoffs had become a reality. Even after losing in the first round of Seattle, though, Johnson stood firm on his decision to call it quits. But that didn't stop team president Jerry Colangelo from attempting to sway his star out of retirement and back onto the court for one last run. Whatever he did, it worked.
I look at these 10 years at the end of an era, we're going in another direction. And instead of this being my 11th season, I'm kind of looking at this being my first.
Spread out the reasons for KJ's return. Credit Colangelo's convincing, but don't leave out Jason Kidd's role in all this. Kidd's first full game in a Suns uni, Valentine's Day. That's when Kevin Johnson made what turned out to be a sweetheart of a move from point to shooter, and with it, KJ's numbers perked up, as did the overall play of the team. Hey, who is the world's strongest man? Hint, he's not in this room. We'll find out for sure who it is coming up in a couple of minutes from now here on ESPN.
1-800-COLLECT presents Max Jerome, Private Eye.
Now what are we gonna do?
Better call the beach house. Tell them we're gonna be late.
Hey, you could save up to 44% if you dialed 1-800-COLLECT.
44%? You're kidding.
No, I'm not. It's easy. See?
You better listen to the brother. You're gonna need that 44% when you give him my bill.
Any Joe will tell you, 1-800-COLLECT is the easy way to save up to 44%.
The sun brings life. People come to the park to see animals, not weeds. That's my motto. Pulling weeds is a waste of time. If you don't get the root, the weed grows back. We use Roundup. Roundup kills the whole weed, roots included. I don't pull weeds at work. Why would I do it at home? That's the home version of my motto. Roundup. No roots, no weeds, no problem.
The NASCAR Ride-Along program puts you in the action.
Leçon 3. Écoutez et répétez. La femme mange 2 poissons à la plage.
La femme mange 2 poissons à la plage.
Bon.
What did we just say?
The woman eats 2 fish at the beach.
NASCAR on ESPN. Come along for the ride. Okay, whatever.
Baseball for you. Mike Morgan started for the Reds in Montreal a couple hours ago after being freshly activated from the DL. He went 5 innings, allowing 4 earned runs on 9 hits. He was victimized by a Henry Rodriguez 3-run homer. And Pete Rose Jr. was called up to Indianapolis, the Reds AAA farm team. First time ever Junior has been at the AAA level. Other baseball for you. Tigers lead the Indians by a score of 1-0. Brian Hunter came home on a Travis Fryman ground out, and the Twins the 1-0 lead over the Indians. Chuck Knobloch a question mark. He is in the lineup, and he promptly singled and later scored in that first inning.
Once again, Tuesday's major stories. Kevin Johnson, change of heart. He will not retire. He returns to the Phoenix Suns for an 11th season. He'll make approximately $8.4 million on a 1-year extension. Dino Radja does report at the final hour to the Sixers for his physical, so that trade with the Celtics is intact. Eric Davis will discuss the next stage of his treatment for colon cancer on Thursday.
Next, SportsCenter comes your way at 11 with Keith and Dan. For Bob Stevens, I'm Steve Levy.
And I'm Bob Lee. Next up, the world's strongest man.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.